It was supposed to be a routine mission. Map an electromagnetic storm, deploy sensors, return home. The Accord safety officer, a silicon-based Vian named Kuleth, insisted on a double-length briefing. The non-humans sat wrapped, making notes, rehearsing hand signals, checking that their harnesses were within easy reach. The humans? Finn quietly rerouted the intercom so he could listen to the radio. Tam scribbled alternative escape routes on her sleeve. Carmen took inventory of every first aid kit and marked where she'd stashed extra trauma patches. Jules scanned the crowd, mentally cataloging who would panic, who would freeze, and who would try to argue with the fire suppression system when it inevitably locked the doors. The hull groaned as an energy bolt split a seam near Cargo Bay 3. When the ship entered the storm, disaster arrived on schedule. Static fried the sensor grid. Magnetic surges flipped the artificial gravity. Panic swept the non-human crew. Orsk shards shattered, Vion signals jammed, Trillian officers froze, reciting safety codes as the bulkheads buckled. The humans, already moving. Jules ordered, "Tam, reroute O2 to the lower deck fin. Get me a patch on that conduit. Carmen, triage, bring anyone who can move to the galley. That's our new safe zone. Everyone else, follow the humans." She sang old Earth songs over the intercom, calming the terrified and shaming the AI into rebooting early. No one argued. We lived the briefing. Half the rules don't work when things go sideways. Tam crawled through the crawlspace 0G, half-blind, whistling the theme song from a childhood cartoon as she manually sealed the breach with a cargo net and 2 protein bars. Finn hot-wired the backup generator using 3 spoons, a magnet, and a threat to tell the ship's AI embarrassing stories if it didn't cooperate. Humans didn't just adapt to chaos, they expected it. The human cargo tech, Sasha Nguyen, led survivors through a maintenance tunnel, used her belt as a climbing harness, and kept spirits high by narrating the escape as if it were a cooking show. If a plan failed, they made a new one, laughing, swearing, or just stubbornly refusing to die. Carmen stitched up wounds with scavenged bandages and made tea for a panicked Orsk who'd never seen blood before. In downtime, they taught their shipmates poker, tag, and old Earth dances. Their holidays messy, joyful, loud became legend. The night an entire Vion crew learned to make s'mores over a malfunctioning reactor. The Trillian captain, who won a piding contest against 3 Orsk and a service droid. Jules coordinated improvising new plans as systems failed in unexpected ways. By the time Valex reached the galley, half the crew were already safe. The rest were being herded there by humans shouting, cajoling, sometimes carrying twice their weight. The ship's log showed a single, simple truth. In chaos, the humans thrived. In humor while engineering worked out, a rescue, the clause became law. After the crisis, Kuleth wanted answers. Why did your crew not attend the safety briefing in full? Vlex was skeptical.
How do you prepare if you do not know what will happen?
Finn smiled. We don't. We assume everything will go wrong, then trust each other to adapt. Some non-humans accused humans of recklessness, of bringing too much chaos, too much noise. Word spread through the fleet. You want someone who isn't paralyzed by fear, who's willing to risk, to improvise, to try. Other ships started requesting human crew for hazardous postings. Asteroid mining, black hole research, diplomatic missions on unstable worlds. In one famous incident on the freighter's sunlit path, a hull breach left half the crew in vacuum. On the medical barge Healing Light, Dr. Andreev rewrote triage protocols on the fly, using kitchen utensils to suture wounds when supplies ran out and leading the crew in a group sing-along to distract from pain. Humans brought culture, too. But the real magic happened in emergencies. A rogue asteroid, a failed sensor, a race against decompression. When the AI panicked, humans cracked jokes until it calmed. When protocol failed, humans made new ones on the spot. When all hope seemed lost, humans told stories of ancestors who survived worse, of home, of love. Carmen brewed coffee, handing cups to every shell-shocked survivor. Finn collapsed in the mess, laughing until he cried. Tam hauled a stunned Trillian to safety, then locked herself in a decompression chamber with 3 Orsk, singing until the rescue team arrived. The Accord began to notice. But I'm glad they are here. The universe tilted sideways. You'd find a human taping, laughing, improvising, and dragging everyone back from the brink. A statistical review showed that ships with human crew had 32% fewer casualties in disasters, 56% higher survival rates, and most mysterious of all, 72% higher morale, even in the aftermath of trauma. The first clause was written as a joke. If present, at least one human crew member may be exempt from mandatory safety briefings, provided a suitable replacement is available for high-risk improvisation. But after the placid dream disasterware, a human cook, Jody Mendel, kept 120 people alive for 5 days on recycled airships, began to compete for humans with the best stories. The wildest backgrounds, recruitment ads changed. Looking for adventure? Love chaos? Hate paperwork? Join the stars. Not all was easy. Some captains resented the rule, insisting their own procedures were sufficient. But as disasters kept happening, even the skeptics called for help. Get me the human. Because when a hull is breached, or the air is running out, or the reactor's gone critical, the legend grew. Songs were written. Ballad of the Human Fixer, Safety Third, Duct Tape in the Void. Children played games. Pretend you're the human in the airlock. On the Accord's anniversary, humans led the parade throwing confetti, running obstacle courses, teaching aliens to dance badly and sing louder. On board Prudence, the next emergency came without warning. Hot! The humans ran toward danger. Jules skidded through the smoke, yelling instructions. Finn jury-rigged an airlock override with a bent spoon and stubborn optimism. Afterward, Vlex wrote in her log, "I do not know how they do it." Jules smiled, bruised but unbroken, already planning the next safety drill. The Accord's final amendment was simple. Humans may skip the briefing, but never the rescue. Across the galaxy, it became a saying, when all else fails, be human. And so, wherever chaos reigned, wherever the rules broke down, because in a galaxy that feared uncertainty, humans had learned that the only real safety was each other.